My experience with the GAL role is that it's mostly dysfunctional, out of control, and exploiting of vulnerable families. GAL should not be charging over $150 an hour or $200 an hour. The statute that defines a GAL as advocating for the best interest of the child is highly ambiguous. It is with this dark and cloudy definition of the best interest of the child where the shadowy practices of the GAL thrive. The lack of clear visibility in what that phrase, the best interest of the child, means in the Connecticut statutes keeps all of us purposefully not seeing the exploitation of our vulnerable children and families in conflict. These families need real help, not GALs. Investigations of abuse or neglect should not be considered as territories for a GAL to control and use as their billing turf and high-profit gravy train. A GAL is not qualified to investigate these types of allegations. They deter parents from turning to other free government services agencies like DCF because they want that turf to be able to bill themselves. I fear retaliation that parental alienation will be enabled to continue because I am speaking out. I cannot get equitable, fair justice as a self-represented party in the family court in Connecticut. I feel locked out of justice because I don't have money for family court professionals. I've burned through it all. I've been here 9 years. I feel locked out of my son's life because I don't have money for professionals from the family court. I have been bankrupt through the family court process, and therefore I am not able to afford to buy my son back. I believe that since I am not able to funnel money to the GAL court system with revenue for them, and since I am against a party that can pay the system quite a lot actually with his $20 million family, I have not and will not get justice. And I will not be able to see my 13-year-old child until I do funnel money into the system. I am now an alienated parent because here in Connecticut, children are for sale with the help of GALs. Please change laws in Connecticut to start them from a 50-50 shared parenting plan with built-in flexibility. Start there to try to make that work first, and try to keep it in the middle range of that 40 to 60% or something like that. Slide the percentage split of time with the child towards the mother or father in small increments based on need. Don't deviate from that central range unless there's a proven problem from a credible and functional investigating service. A GAL is not a credible, functional investigating service. Fines for violating parental orders must be in place. They can take the form, if they're not monetary fines, they can take the place. Community service might be helpful, very helpful, in getting those that violate those orders to perhaps learn a little bit more empathy. What Dr. Miller was saying here today was very profound to me. It's the first time I've heard somebody with an answer to my problems. I don't have the money to afford someone like him. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions from the task force? Mr. Weissmuller.
How much was it you were paying the guardian ad litem?
The guardian ad litem, I've been in the system for 9 years. The first one was on our case for 5 years, and she was $450 an hour with a total of $80,000. And there was a second one on the case at $350 an hour, whose total billing is $9,000 to date.
Did you ask the judge for an equitable apportionment in line with what the financial affidavits demonstrated each of you were earning?
I have asked that a couple times through the 9 years. I have an ex that claims he makes less than minimum wage, but he has the family funneling the money in. So I don't have the $10,000 to get a deposition, a proper deposition. I did go for that, but then his attorney burned through through my attorney's the money that I saved for the deposition. I worked hard and saved for that money, and gave it to an attorney, and then his attorney called, stalled, and just filed blocking motions and quashes and ran through the money before I even got to the deposition. So the money I saved for was for nothing, and I could not get a modification.
In 9 years, about how many times have you been to the courthouse?
At least, oh gosh, it feels like monthly almost. Many times a year. This year it's been monthly, or somewhat almost monthly.
Okay, and in all of those trips to the courthouse, how many meaningful days of trial have you had in 9 years?
One.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you for waiting. I know it's been a long day.
Yeah.